Good afternoon and welcome to As E Day Hot, right here in Active Citizens. My name is Sharon and Mchuku. Joining me live in the studio as always, I have with me the beautiful, excellent Ifoma Oji. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Wow. What a flatter.
I decided to give you a little, twist to your
I
introduction this afternoon.
Well, I feel quite aesthetic, man.
Oh,
I mean,
thank God.
It's a lovely afternoon. Cool afternoon.
Is it
for
though?
us
Is
day
it
hot.
though? Is it?
Yes,
The rain this
it's
morning.
cool
The rain this
for us
morning
day hot.
was disastrous. It was it was a lot.
I agree.
But anyways, this afternoon, although it's not hot climatically, but we are here to warm you up a bit with our stories. Now we are going straight to laughter. I'm taking you all the way to Kano State, where the government has deployed its first batch of 380 marshals to fight phone theft in the state. Now picture this, 380 marshals specifically for phone theft. How interesting is that, Ifoma?
It is, for a fact, yeah, I would say that it's kind of, I feel kind of light to hear this, in as much as we'll still get to, uncover some things, some, hidden things about this. But at the same time, I think it's quite funny to, mobilize 380 persons to fight.
It's very, not even quite, it's very funny.
Extremely
funny.
It is.
Because the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, oh, is this not NYSC camping ground? Okay, and I looked again, this is not NYSC. This is the Kano State government now training these people that they are going to send to the field to battle phone theft. And it must be a serious issue in Kano State if the government has to now involve themselves with deploying marshals to fight against phone theft. And someone in the comment section said they must have stolen the Kano State governor's phone. For them to have embarked on such a project and on such a mission. And it is interesting to see, because security does not only have to do with property, human beings. It also has to do with securing your properties. And I don't blame them. With how expensive phones are, this should be a serious issue. So we've seen that this has happened. But Ifoma, in all seriousness now, with all sincerity, do you think that this is them prioritizing what they should prioritize, or is this a little bit off the books?
Okay, so quick one, yeah. I mean, Kano State is one of the most populated in the north and the entire, Nigeria. And we can't take away the fact that there are a lot of markets there. I mean, people are congested. Definitely, there will be theft. So we're not taking that away. But what I have problem with is more like employing or deploying 380 task force to go and fight. How are you? I don't really know how they are going to achieve that, but it is funny. But at the same time, I feel like it's misplaced of priority because the state itself is grappling with insecurity, unemployment. People are abusing drug on a daily, and education, we have little to no attention to educational sector, and the only thing you could prioritize or think of is to deploy 380 troops to fight phone theft. It's for me, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is crazy.
But we have to also give it to them because they considered gender inclusivity, because when you watch that video, you can also see ladies in the force. Now, if I can call them that, you can see ladies in the force, and they are training them to send them out to the fields in order to battle phone theft. And like you rightfully said, Ifoma, this is a huge issue that has befallen not just the Kano State people, but the entire Nigeria, if you look at it from a broader sense. But I just find it really funny that they have given a microscope to phone thefts And I'm thinking personally, what about other things? What about other types of insecurity threats or security threats to the people? In as much as our phones are very important, losing your phone is like losing a loved one, if we're being honest. In as much as that is really crucial, I just feel that the lives of people are more important than losing phones, if you understand what I mean. So I just think that they should have focused on protecting first the lives of people and how they can strengthen security and fight against the attacks on the lives of people as regards all of this. But just to wrap it up on that, I would let you, you know, make your contributions. But just to wrap it up, I just wanted to also ask that with the training, we don't have a full grasp of the type of training that they gave to these people for the 2 weeks that they were in camp. But for these people that they have now sent out, the 380 marshals now, how do they, I don't know how we think they're going to achieve this. Are they giving them arms? Are they sending them out? Are they working closely with security apparatus like the police force or the army or vigilante? What are they working as? Is it going to be identical to what they have in Anambra State, where Soludo came out and brought a lot of vigilante groups and all of that? But I'm just asking, how do you think this is going to be achievable for the Kano state government?
To be honest with you, I don't know. What I feel is maybe when they discover that, okay, there is theft, they'll run after the person.
Run?
Because I don't know. I don't know. But I wanted to say something earlier. You know, this number of persons that you are deploying to fight this, they're quite much, they're quite massive. And for you to achieve this, it requires a lot of fund. You need to pay their salaries, you need to sell uniforms, you need logistics, a lot for this. And I feel like Kano State, we already have in Nigeria, we already have Nigerian police, we already have the armed forces, we already have, you know, sometimes what is it called, local community, you know, security personnel that can actually, you can maybe allocate to do all these things. Why mobilizing this set of persons? In as much as, for example, you can actually find it that, oh, in the bright side, that they're trying to create job opportunities.
No, I actually find that really
people,
nice that they
for
do
people.
that.
No, but at the same time, I feel like it's misplaced priority. I'm seeing it in the form of, this is a government that is trying to, you know, react to probably theft, forgetting the fact that we have, you know, salient issues in the security, you know, sector.
Yes, you have a point. But you know that the issue of, let's take it down to Abuja for a minute, the issue of the death of Somi, that's the Arise TV anchor that died. One of the things that people complained about during all of that scenario was the response. And the thing, not just them, a lot of things that we have complained about is the response of either security agencies or fire services, because they are always slow. Now, what people are saying and what I also buy into is the fact that we need to start protecting ourselves, because it seems as though the security agencies that the nation has provided can no longer do that. They can no longer do their job, which is to protect lives and property. When you go out in the streets, you see policemen taking 200 naira from a bus full of people, no inspection. Even though they inspect, they are doing that. At the end of the day, you are still going to give them 200 naira, which is not even in their job description. Now, when you look at the people who are supposed to look at, okay, do you have your license to drive? Are you wearing your seatbelt? What they are interested in is giving them money. Even after having your particulars, because I was listening to conversations where bus drivers were talking, and they said, even if you have your particulars and you present these particulars to them, at the end of the day, they will spend 2 hours going through your documents and wasting your time because they want to delay you because you have your documents. So at the end of the day, their bone of contention is not whether you have your papers complete or not, is that you give them their 200 naira. Now, so it is up to us as a nation, as a civil society, to protect ourselves. So if they are encouraging people to come out and say, this is the group of people that will help fight insecurity in this particular community, then why not?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Just one question. How did all this kind of activities, both insecurity, how did this theft, phone stealing, how did it emanate? What caused the emergence of that?
There are a lot of reasons that cause that.
Number one is job, lack of job. When people are employed, you won't be seeing people stealing phones on the street. When I talked about misplaced priorities, why not create job opportunities for them? If you want to fight this, menace, you're choosing phone to fight against, phone, theft or the rest of them. Why don't you create or position CCTV camera in maybe like office or even track, in the markets, in the local markets, or even find a way to track those phones? I mean, have a round table discussion with security, operators in that state and find a way to curb this thing. Is not supposed to be a major problem. I feel like I get your point, no, but what I'm saying is the main problem here is for you to fight this. Why don't you try as much as possible to reduce the reason why people step out on the street or why people sit on their homes and think of committing this kind of crime? It's because they basically don't have anything doing. And according to an adage that says, a Nigerian adage that says that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So when you sit down, you don't have anything doing. This is the only thing you can think of. So if they have something doing, I promise you won't see them on the streets. So even if you will not see them, like they will not be in their numbers. If you see them on the streets, it will definitely curb or reduce them.
I think what you're not understanding from what I'm saying is the fact that I did not say that them specifically trying to bring out people who would fight against phone theft is me supporting that. If you listened when I started initially, I said this is them just trying to misplace priority. What I'm saying here in essence was in regards to the comments you made about them setting up a group of people or troops to fight insecurity, and you approached it from the point of you don't think it's necessary and they should depend on national security agencies. And I'm saying that is not even a problem. I don't see a problem with them bringing out people to say, okay, let us protect lives and properties for ourselves. Seeing that you saying we should depend on national security agencies, they are not coming forth. If you call police and say, let's rush this person to the hospital, they will tell you that they don't have fuel. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not that I am saying, okay, what they did is applaudable, let us clap for them. It is not a bad thing, and it's also not a good thing in the sense that they have taken it upon themselves to fight an aspect of insecurity that they are facing that has bedeviled the people of Kano State. Now, what I'm going to say on that is the fact that, yes, we are encouraging people, we are encouraging communities to come out and protect themselves. But now, single-handedly, saying, I am going to bring out this set of people to focus on just phone theft just seemed really amusing to me is what I'm saying.
It is.
All right. Now, since we're agreed on that, I want us to also move on to a very sad story that we just saw earlier today, and it's about a man who, by the name is Kingsley Nebo, who was, caught sponsoring the killing of 25-year-old boy Sochima Ono in Enugu on July 12, 2025. Now, the background on this man is that he runs a real estate firm called Danda Tech Real Estate. And he has come out to also confess on video that he paid the killers 1 million naira to execute his order. And all of this back and forth, has been ongoing. And people have come out to say that this is him trying to do this so that he would create a communal clash, which will enable him through the Enugu State Geographical Information System to seize and grab lands, as he used to do in other communities. So the whole agenda is to cause chaos and be able to come and seize land in Enugu State. And that was the reason this 25-year-old boy lost his life in this entire back and forth. So now it seems as though real estate is not just about buying and selling lands. It's about also buying, selling, and knowing the right people to buy so that you can be able to now lay claims on people's lands. But how bizarre is this, Ifoma?
First of all, my heart, I commiserate with the friends and family of this, what's his name?
Sochima.
Sochima. Oh no, it is quite a sad situation. I mean, my heart, I don't know how to express or how to say sorry to the family and to the friends and to the entire Nigerians. But quick one here, it is looking as if when you have power, yeah, you have access, it's more like a life ticket to committing a lot of atrocities. It is, it's sad that that's the reality we are living in again in this Nigeria. And what happens to if maybe the land, you guys are having dispute about the land, what happens to approaching the court about it? What happens to that? You now resulted to killing the young boy for what? Now at the end of the day, where did he end you? And there was this comment he made. He said the police are in his pocket, which means that you can now buy the police from law enforcement agencies, and you can use them to perpetrate
the
crime.
same security agency that's supposed to protect us.
If not for the fact that, I mean, the security, these people employed security agencies, security operatives from Abuja, this case would have gone under the carpet. What are we turning into in Nigeria here? What is going on? I was looking at the picture of the young boy. I'm like, what crime did this boy commit that will warrant you taking his life? It is such a hard, a sad situation that I don't even know probably how I am going to explain it. And you're placing a bounty like 1 million naira, which is about $700, on top of somebody's life. So you can now negotiate people's lives. You are now somebody, you are now that being, that supernatural being that can decide whether one should live or die. This is crazy.
And all of these things you say, you're sounding as though you're surprised. I am not surprised. It's the fact that they did not catch this man early enough, because from what we are seeing, they are saying that he does this in other communities, meaning he has done things like this and he has gotten away with it. And this is not the first time for him to have the impetus, the audacity, the peace of mind that after committing such a crime, he can still go to bed, sleep at night. And he also came out to say, and he boasted, that all the police force in Enugu State are in his pocket. So I'm also taking a look at this from another perspective, right? If you're going to conduct an investigation, although he has come out to say and confess to the fact that he sponsored the killings, but if they're also going to do this investigation, the police force in Enugu State, the commissioner of police in Enugu State, they say they are two people in some Kingsley neighbor's pockets. You should come and explain how and what you were looking for that you entered this pocket, because this type of issue is not just him. There are other people, and if this is a thing, right? If this is a practice that is known amongst real estate moguls, it means that he's not the only culprit. Who knows how many lives that has been lost, or how many burials that you have attended without you knowing that this person died because of a real estate mogul's plan to come and get lands in a particular community. So if they are doing this investigative look into what happened to this person and this young man, I think it should be holistic in this point. It is really sad, and I'm really sending our heartfelt condolence to the family of this young poor boy that just lost his life in this whole real estate battle crisis. It is such a sad situation.
And in addition to what you said, I think this particular man, when they probe into the situation, they get to equally uncover his cohorts, because I believe he's not alone in this. That's number one. And then number two, I think this man should be duly prosecuted. I think this man, all his properties should be confiscated, because it looks as if this is a business, this is an industry for him. So all the lands that he has acquired were acquired illegally. So I think his lands, his assets should be confiscated. And not just that, I think he should be deregistered from owning anything that has to do with real estate, because number one, it's not legit. So, and I think he should first of all be arrested before any of that.
All right, and like you rightfully said, I just don't want that this be a repetition of what we see in our scene, whereby we get information of, okay, this has happened, and we do not see a follow-up information. What did the police do? What are the courts doing? What was the judgment meted out on him? And this shouldn't affect just him as an individual, like Ifeoma rightfully said. It should affect his properties and his business as a whole, because it is a huge stain on him and whatever he stands for. And it will also send a message to anybody who is practicing this, not just in Enugu State now, but in other states of Nigeria. Now, still talking about the same Enugu State, it is really unfortunate that Enugu is now in the news for the wrong reasons. We have seen a news now on Facebook. A woman identified as Jennifer Nwafo has accused her daughter's school in Nike, Enugu State, of shielding a teacher who allegedly flogged her 3-year-old child, leaving visible marks on her legs. Now, when we say visible marks, it's not just, there are different types. This is visible. This is colored. Like her skin was, showing red. It was even purple if you look at it at some point. And this is a 3-year-old girl. This is a 3-year-old girl. And I want us, before I take your comment, to take a quick look on the video before we proceed.
Hello guys, I'm at MM Nasra Primary School now. At Ababanike. I was in my house now. Somebody called me on phone. Same number for my child in school. Now one of the teachers from MM Nasra Primary School flogged my child to the point that my child is no longer walking. I want to show you people my baby's wound. I want to show you people my baby's wound. I want to show you people my baby's wound. Are you people seeing it? Are you people seeing it? He said, teacher. Teacher. This is my child. I will not. And the teachers are finding it difficult to bring up my child. Hold this one for me. Hold this one for me. Hold this one for me. Madam, please. Show me the phone. Show me the phone. The teacher is finding it so difficult. Bringing out the child.
So we just saw that video and we saw all of that pain from a mother's voice and that bitter outburst from seeing the type of marks inflicted on your 3-year-old girl from a teacher who is supposed to teach her and who is supposed to nurture her while she is in school. And coming out to report this case to the school authority instead of meeting the woman one-on-one and bringing the teacher to publicly apologize, they are now keeping the teacher in the school premises in a bid to protect her. I have seen wickedness, but this one is on another level. A 3-year-old girl. I am not even asking the question, what did she do? Because to be honest, what could she possibly do to have warranted such punishment meted out on this young girl? And now this woman has come and we understand the bitterness, we understand the pain and all of that outburst. But I also have a problem with how the school authority chose to handle this. Ifeoma, what's your take?
Like you rightfully said, it's looking like Enugu State has become, a hub whereby people can do anything and get away with it. And this is another, case scenario. It is quite sad, that this happened to this child. But it's looking like once you have a building, you don't even care whether that building has been maybe up to 200 years or 100 years. But once you have a building and you rent chair or you have some chairs and maybe 2 or 3 tables, you can actually open up a school and then you start bringing children into the school. Because what happens to Ministry of Education? Are you not supposed to take a letter to them? Are they not supposed to come and inspect the school? Are they not supposed to come and inspect the teachers? How do we employ people these days in schools? A 3-year-old child, what does that child know that you're flogging the child to this extent? Some teachers, some people that call themselves teachers don't even know, this thing where they call child psychology. A child's brain, that 3-year-old child's brain, it's not yet developed. What offense would that child have committed that you have to flog the child to this extent? It shows the level of moral decadence that we have, you know, resorted to or have reduced ourselves to in this country, in the name of owning institutions, in the name of maybe having power. And why is it that this woman is demanding the authorities or the school, you know, principal for accountability? What happened to my child? And you're shielding the teacher. It's as if you're encouraging such acts. It is, for me, it is absurd, and I think this school, I think something should be done about this.
Of course.
This school, they should shut this school down for further investigations.
And you know, it's ironic that the other day we celebrated Teachers' Day and we applauded them for their timeless contribution to the human society. But this just shows that there is still huge, big room for improvement. And especially when you are rendering services now, not just for teachers, for nurses, but any service-based institution or organization, I think that there is a huge room for improvement when it concerns training, retraining staff in our, you know, organizations, especially for these service-based, you know, institutions, like I said earlier. Now, for these teachers that, or people that do this, or teachers that do things like this, where in a bid to try and correct a child, you now lose yourself and you overdo it. I think that apart from retraining them, taking them to trainings and all of that, they should also face the penalty of the law. There should be consequences. You can't just do this. And even the public apology I made mention of is not enough. It does not cut it at all. That is just the tip of the iceberg, where you come out to publicly apologize. And you have to now face the drum of the law. You have to face some sort of charges for what you have done. So that next time, when you are disciplining a child, you have it at the back of your mind that you are disciplining a human being, not a cow. Or the goats in your village. Please. And these are people kids. These are people's children. You don't come and start treating them like animals. And also, not just for the teachers now, for the school authorities, for the principal or the headmaster or whatever you are called, as long as you are the head of admin or you are in charge of running things in a particular school, you should also pay close attention to complaints like this. I understand that the teacher is your staff and you would want to work in the best interest of your staff, but you should also remember the reason why you are opening this school in the first place. It's not for teachers. It's not just to give them employment. It is for the young minds you want to groom. This is not senior secondary school. Neither is it junior secondary school. This is the very basic foundation of a child's educational and social life. For it to be treated as though they are just coming to play around without any structure in place to either discipline the teachers or suspend or whatever it is you want to do for the teachers that do things like this. And I just think moving forward, every area, every single area should be revisited and they should be trained appropriately.
Definitely. In addition, you know, some people in the olden days, they will tell you, the way I discipline my child, I flog my child mercilessly so that my child will learn. Once the child remembers, oh, that he or she has a certain mark, they remember the reason why they were given this mark. But I'm telling parents out there, there are so many ways to discipline your child. You don't have to, you know, incur, you know, such marks, placing a tribal mark for the rest of that child's life because you're trying to discipline the child. There are so many ways to discipline your child, and your child, or talk to your child, and your child will pay keen attention to you and heed to your advice. But all the same, we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much, Sharon, for always doing this with me every single time on this table. And to you, our VVIP, thank you for always joining us on the show. But if you're yet to like, you are totally wrong. If you're yet to comment, you are totally wrong. And if you're yet to share our videos to your friends, to your family, even your enemies, you are very, very wrong. Go ahead and do all this good stuff, and we'll keep on appreciating it every single time. You can find us on all our social media platforms across all social media platforms at Active Citizens, and you can find me on my private page on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miss Alex.
You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Sharon Enemchukwu.
All right, till we see you in the evening for Active Citizens Parliament. Do have a beautiful afternoon.